All of us guys on self-improvement know our goals, but they aren't specific enough, right? So there's this thing called SMART goals, and it's like a acronym, I think is what you call it. It's SMART, and it's specific, measurable, attainable, results-based, or results-oriented, and the T is time-based, right? So specific, measurable, so you can see how close you are to it. Attainable, you can get it. It's not like growing 7 inches taller in the next 2 days, right? That's stupid. Doesn't make sense. And I think the R is actually, the R is relevant. So it has to be like aligned to your life, right? You can't make a goal to go and have sex with as many women as possible if you want to be a celibate. That was the R. And then the T is time-based. So I want to make $1 million in my business by April of 2028 or something like that, right? And for me, there was a while when I didn't have a number one goal exactly. I had all these goals like YouTube and gym and obviously health. You get the point. But I hadn't specified what my number one goal was. I had like this goal and this goal and this goal. But my number one goal wasn't because I was too lazy to just sit down and think about it. Just sit down and just grab a journal and think about it, right? So after I just did that, after I stopped being a lazy ass, I figured out what it was, right? And it's just become this stoic, disciplined, basically the person who deserves success. You know what I mean? Because I don't deserve success right now, right? If you were to give me 1 million subscribers and 1 million views every video, I'd mess it up, right? I would barely make any money because I'm not that person yet. I haven't built the skills to maintain or even exist at that level, right? Obviously, you know this. That's why you don't get gifted 1 million subscribers at the beginning. That's why YouTube slowly puts you on the algorithm more and more. So like I said, number one goal for me is being stoic. You have to figure out your own. Your number one goal might be the gym. It could be YouTube. It could be fucking helping chiropractors scale their own business in an agency, right? It could be anything. So define this number one goal. So specific. And then you have to find a way to make it smart, right? You have to make it even more specific, which I think I have made it specific, and measurable, so you can see how close you are to it. I don't really know how you can measure how stoic you are, so I don't know. I guess it's not the greatest goal, but it's right now I feel like that's my purpose, really, which kind of sounds weird, but it's my purpose, right? It's just to become this beacon of virtue, right? So obviously I have other goals other than the number one goal, but they're all somewhat related to the number one goal, right? If your number one goal is to go to the gym and get super strong, get buff, get 405 bench press, then your other goals have to be, in a sense, contributing to that, right? If you're gonna become a world champion eater, I don't think you should also be trying to do the gym, right? Because they're just spamming 78 hot dogs every day for practice or some shit, right? I don't know, I'm quite a weird example, but you get it. So my other goals are just obviously YouTube and business, which right now YouTube is the business. It's just personal brand. Gym, obviously working out. I work out every day, and just being healthy. I eat as healthy as I can. And, being more social, because I'm actually quite shit at being social. Because these YouTube videos, sure, they go onto social media, but I'm just talking to a fucking phone, right? There's nobody, I'm not talking to anybody. Nobody's gonna say words back to me, right? And then being a lifelong student. So, you know what that means, right? Okay, good. So, once you have your number one goal, you want 90% of your effort on achieving the goal, right? And 10% of the effort on maintenance, right? So 90% trying to achieve it. And what does that look like? For me, it's journaling, it's reflecting, it's practicing like stoic, thought patterns and really internalizing them and putting papers on my wall. I have a paper right here that says the obstacle is the way, right? I could keep going and going and going. So make 90%, and what do I mean by 10% maintenance? Don't just go 100% on your goals, because then, like for me, if I were to go 100%, that means completely ignoring my parents and doing all this shit. When really, if you stop doing the 10% to maintain, the 90% is gonna fall down, right? Like if you stop doing the 10% by not meditating anymore, your business is gonna go down because you're not gonna be making the decisions that you could be making, right? And also with the parents, that's just gonna be much worse if you just ignore them, right? Obviously. And then the gym, if you stop going to the gym, you're gonna stop growing in business. It's like all related, basically. I watched a whole video on it by this guy. And there's this quote from this book, let me just grab it. The Superior Man. I have read it all the way through, obviously. I don't know what else you do. And there's this quote, I might butcher it a little bit, but it says that your goal as a man is to know what your main goal is, where you are in accordance to that goal, and how you're going to achieve it, right? That's like, your goal is basically your purpose, right? In the spirituality sense. So, do that. Because if you don't know what your goal is, you're not going to be working towards it, unless if you're some lucky bastard. If you don't know how you're going to get there, well, if you don't know where you are right now, you're not, you just have to know where you are right now, in accordance, relative to it, whatever you want to say. And if you don't know how to get there, you won't. All right? So be very ambitious with your goals. Don't be a pussy. And I mean ambitious. I'm talking, because even if you don't achieve the goal, if you go insane with the goal, like, I'll just give you an example. This isn't my goal, but it could be to scale or to get my business to $5,000 a month by the end of the year. And that's already February, right? So, do you see like the level that creates? And there's a reason, because if I achieve like 20% of my goal, but I grinded my ass off, I'm gonna be further along than I would have been if I wasn't trying to go so far, right? If I wasn't so ambitious, I wouldn't have gotten so far, right? So my goals sound pretty vague, as you would assume, but like YouTube, I've broken it down, not as much, but the Stoic thing is very hard to break down, and I've kind of found ways to. And you have to break your shit down too, especially if you're doing the gym or business, because those are very tangible, like, results that you can see, right? So like, for example, you want to get to 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. You have to factor in that success isn't linear, So you're gonna put monthly goals, right? Boom, 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 boom. And success goes like this. It's like a J curve, kind of like a capital J. And I guess I put monthly goals. I watched this whole video on it, like I said. Like if you want to get all A's in school, break down each class, and then how you'll study for that class, and then how you'll turn the assignments in, and all that, right? You don't just want to break down physics when you still have, I don't know, like chemistry or something, right? And how you'll ask the teachers, and you have to really break it down. That makes it so much easier, trust me. So remember that pain in the moment is growth in the long run. See ya.